one of those days where I just keep cranking and cranking and cranking and can't get up, nothing. It's going to be a body. Let's see, did I set it up right? Just about cooking a walk. Well, it's alright. It's alright. Alright, the hot topics. The hot topics. It's ready or what, man? You fucking ready for the hot topic or what, man? Alright, let's check this out. Everyone's talking about the Spanian. That's right, the Spanian. So, since that's a hot topic, I was asked about it, so I thought I would vlog about it. Fuck this shit. Alright. Alright.
Who we are and what makes
Yeah, sure.
And I've always had a nice fascination.
The Spanian. I'm gonna go start. Alright. Let's kick it off. Alright, everyone's talking about Spanian. He's always coming up in the conversation, and some people ask me, what do I think about the Spanian situation? So I thought I'll just drop a bit of a vlog just to talk about it.
Who we are.
First of all, I'm gonna say that what you call it? I can't get anything right today.
Who we are and what makes the lads in Sydney
Okay.
different from the rest of the world, and how we prided ourselves. They loved it. So
Anyway, the Spanian, anyways. Alright. First of all, let me break it down with this guy. My perception. Once again, I'm not ass and underwear with this guy. So I remember from back in the day in the cross. He used to walk up and down the main street. This time when I used to work at Blackbirds. Then it became from Blackbirds. I went for a little bit of time called Centerfolds, yeah. And then it closed. And then it opened up as Bada Bing, and now it's Heron. Yeah, I used to work there as a doorman, and blah blah blah. Alright, so after I used to come off the door, I used to hang around in the ladies' change room and look after the ladies. Anyway, so I was doing that 5 months a week, blah blah blah. We're talking back in 2002, 2003, 2004, around that time frame anyway. Those 3 years, whatever it was. Anyway, so we used to see going up and down before that and after that. Like even before I was working on the door and after that. So don't quote me on the exact time because we're talking 22 years ago. Alright? Because before I was working there, I used to hang around because I knew the person that owned the place. And I used to hang around in one of the unit blocks there that was owned by Carlotta, the transgender, that also owned Dancers, the strip club. Me and Carlotta went way back. Anyway, so about the guy, I'm pretty neutral about the guy actually, to the truth. I'm just gonna break it down from what I see. Yeah. Once again, I don't know how accurate my information is because I'm not ass and underwear with this guy. I'm not hand in glove with him. So he's just a social influencer. I hear he's doing good. I hear this story, that story. The stories coming out of the ones that they got. But I'll tell you about my perceptions. This is what I think. All right. He basically went from. He probably basically went from being underground alternative type of guy to now basically like a mainstream pop type of guy. He went from rough as guts to being a prima donna. Yeah? If you notice, he went from telling stories that were hitting people in the heart to basically a male Kim Kardashian. Yeah? If you notice. He went from talking facts, talking stories, talking this to freaking scandal after scandal after scandal and fucking being a consumer. Oh, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. He went from going into disadvantaged neighborhoods, talking to the people, having empathy for what was going on. All right, going all around the world, going to a concentration camp, doing a thing there, showing the people's pain and suffering, and this was all emotional and touching stuff, you know. It was touching people in the nerve, you know. He also went from being very fucking blasphemous to not. He went from at the beginning he was very blasphemous, and then he stopped doing that. He went from being a bit self-absorbed to helping people in the community instead of just taking from the community. But now he's flipped to another side where he's gone like full popular and full like mainstream. You know what I mean? So in other words, he whatever got him up the ladder, was the whole alternate crowd. You know what I mean? So he's basically got. Let's say he was a musician. He basically went from garage rock, punk type stuff to fucking top 10. You know what I'm saying? He transitioned. He went from going to neighborhoods and showing empathy and feeling what was going on to rocking up to the same sort of places, sort of acting like he's gracing people with his presence and laughing and mocking and joking about people's pain and suffering. There's a big shift in his social dynamics and his geographics. Yeah, so like he went from eating on by the ocean and on top of skipper bins to fucking striking a fucking pose like he's Madonna doing these ones and whatever. Like I don't know, I can't pull off those maneuvers personally, but like seriously, it's like he's fucking striking the pose for the Vogue or something. Alright. So in other words, he's acting like a modern day male Kim Kardashian, strike fucking Madonna, fucking striking the pose these days. He's gone from being rough as guts, telling it as it is, or the best of his ability, to having empathy for the community, he's trying to help people, to fucking talking about fucking being a consumer, scandals, this, that, mainstream pop type situation. So it looks like he's lost his fan base of that alternate crowd, you know. And the people in the alternate crowd, they're more like they're like similar to a cult following. If they like somebody, they got like a similar to a cult following, yeah. So someone goes to say he's a bit of a sellout. I don't know. But anyway, let's look at some of the stuffy, and I'll resemble it to some other things. And let's say what we can unravel about this boy. To begin with, intro. You know that or that situation. Heroin addiction, prison, being a drug dealer. You would never touch him. And after getting off heroin, okay, so he's on the rehabilitations. Worst memory in prison, don't worry about that. Psychopath, fucking everyone needs a dog around Belmore Gangster as a psychopath, nothing new. See the gang culture. This is what strikes me.
How dangerous are the streets of Sydney?
The fuck did I just press, man? Yeah, what the fuck did I just do?
Mr. Associate.
You get around Sydney, you see banks get involved. You don't see WR.
Alright, I'll tell you, I was doing some fucking weird shit today.
Alright.
Oh, this is
How
it.
dangerous are the streets of Sydney? Sydney culture has the Sydney gang culture, Sydney crime culture has changed a lot, right? 20 years ago, early 2000s, late 90s, Sydney was more of a Sydney versus the coppers, fuck the government.
That's what that you mean, shit. Alright, that's not. That'll be. Alright. But.
Sydney was more about ripping off banks, flying through the streets in stolen cars, a big fuck you to the police, cop and chase it.
Let's see what his
How dangerous are the streets of Sydney? Sydney culture Sydney gang culture, Sydney crime culture has changed a lot, right? 20 years ago, early 2000s, late 90s, Sydney was more of a Sydney versus the coppers, fuck the government. Sydney was more about ripping off banks, flying through the streets in stolen cars, a big fuck you to the police, cop and chasers, this and that. We weren't working in gangs to fight each other. We didn't turn each other. No one gave a fuck about what your postcode was. It don't matter. Who gives a fuck? No one cared about the number of people in your gang or what your gang's called. That wasn't a thing. It was who...
That's actually very, very, very inaccurate. What he just said is very inaccurate. Yeah, we had bank robbers, this, that, blah, 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 because back then you could get away with it. Banknotes were serial numbered properly, and no one was keeping track of the serial numbers, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we had that kind of shit situations happening, yeah. But for him to say there was no gang culture is very inaccurate. Back then, we had the Base Gun Boys, we had the Punch Club Boys. This is just in the West. We had, from the Punch Club Boys, we had the normal Crips. We had the Crazy Local Brothers. We had Miracle Legends. Then we had, if you went up north, we had the Bay Rats. If you would see around the coast, we had the Bra Boys. If you went out, say, Sulla Way or Cronulla Way, we had the Carlton Boys. We had the Hurstville Boys. The Southern Boys. From Belmore Crips, there was Campsie City Reds before you got sealed by Crazy Local Brothers. Yeah? So, they had colour gangs back then, but they put together a task force because there was a shooting in Campsie, a drive-by shooting in Campsie, and they put a task force in to break that sort of scene apart. But to say there was no postcode wars and yeah, there was. There was a shitload of it. It was like, do you think what? The motorcycle clubs just started up in the last fucking 10 years or something, or the last 5 years? All the motorcycle clubs have been in play since just after World War II. The people that started them were fucking Vietnam vets. So, like, there was the Father's Day Massacre at Milpera, there was this, there was that, there was a shitload of things happening. Biker wars and this and that, and postcode wars. They weren't called postcode wars. They were called, people had gang names like Crips and Bloods and, Crazy Local Brothers and Carlton Boys and all that. Maybe he wasn't in a gang. He wasn't gang affiliated, maybe. He was just doing his crime and this and that. But there was gangs. Right? Just like there was a postcode, I don't know what the postcode is for who knows how long now, a unit block in Redfern. I forget what the postcode is. They're basically Bloods as well. What you call it? The street, they got the Aboriginal guy that the police killed and started up a riot. He used to hang around that street. What was that street called again? Near the station, opposite the station, in Redfern. It'll come to me. But anyway, what I'm telling you is, this information that he's giving is extremely wrong. There was gangs everywhere. But there was more gangs back then than there is now. People got inspired by movies like, what was the movie? Warriors, come out to play, yeah, and all that. Remember those movies like and the hip hop, the fucking breakdancing culture and all that. That started off a whole lot of gangs back in the day. Warriors, come out to play, yeah. So what he's saying is extremely inaccurate. But anyway, I found other things that he was saying that was way off the mark.
Who you are and how you hold yourself and how much money you make, and that was what it's about. That has changed.
That's not what it was about for him. And maybe a few of his mates. It wasn't like that for everyone. Most of us want to belong to something. Yeah? That's why we got together. So, for protection, for this, for that. Yeah? That was his thing. It wasn't everybody's thing.
A lot. Alright, Sydney culture, Sydney gang culture and crime has changed a lot, and nowadays it is a lot like that. It's a lot. It's people in Sydney in gangs fighting each other. People fighting over the fucking name of their fucking suburb and the stupid postcode they have and stuff like that. And so now now you get around Sydney, you don't see banks getting robbed. You don't see WRXs and Nissan Skyline GTRs flying through the street.
Yeah, that's because everyone's using fucking cryptocurrency and the times have changed. You can't fucking go rob a bank because all the fucking banknotes are serial numbered. As soon as you go fucking spend $1, you're gonna get fucking pumped. So what's the fucking use of robbing a bank?
It's with 30 highway patrol behind.
Different story in the 80s. Now it's a different story. You can't fucking get away with it.
And you don't see none of that good crime no more. You see,
that's like saying you don't see people stealing stereo systems anymore. No shit, because it's not worth it. Or something like that. You know what I mean? Why the fuck is somebody going to steal a stereo system when they should go buy one for $150? And if you steal it, how much you going to sell it for? $10? See what I mean? Back in the day, you used to steal a deck and sell it for a couple $100. You know what I'm saying? It's not fucking not worth it. Yeah? That's almost as stupid as say no one steals TVs anymore. No shit, no one steals TVs. They got fucking GPS tracking. You gotta fucking turn the car on, or you put it in somebody's house. It's gonna get fucking. You're gonna get busted. There's no use.
You see people in one suburb killing people in another suburb, and people just fighting amongst ourselves now. But unfortunately, I'm sure they all have.
Well, now it's been happening since day one. But anyway,
their reasons why, and I'm sure that's really heartfelt. But to me, it's disappointing, bro. Like, yeah, it's people are murdering each other all the time now. You know, like in a lot of parts of Sydney, drive-bys. It's not such a knife thing. I know he's from England and he's love knives. Here it's guns, right? Not going to pretend it's like Compton or something. Relax, but the guns aren't legal here, but people still have guns, right? So, but there's suburbs out.
Guns are legal, but people are printing them up now. Let's be honest. People just fucking get a fucking 3D printer, print one up, they go get the ammunition, and they're going to work in you. So, it's not Compton, but you got gun crime.
In Western Sydney, there's drive-bys every 3 days. There's big wars out there, lads are like blowing each other's heads off in the streets, and the police aren't even reporting it anymore. Like, there's savage shit going on here. Like, yeah, there's some fucking MS-13 type shootings out here where people are like demolished bodies and that. But
once again, that's inaccurate because remember, I just told you guys that I used to stay at a unit block that's owned by Carlotta, that the same trans that owns dancers. But these days she's gotten a bit old, you know. She gets around in the scooter thingy. Anyway, I remember we used to stay in that unit block, and we used to hear fucking 2-3 people getting popped overnight. People used to have their own fucking rhythm when they let off shots. Oh yeah, that's Frankie, for instance, or oh yeah, that's Asian Tom, for instance. You know what I'm saying? Everyone had their own rhythm of how they let off fucking rounds back then. There was more murders back then than there is now. Like literally, the cops didn't know what to do with the fucking bodies. Yeah? I remember stepping over a fucking body and seeing somebody further up with a smoking fucking barrel. And I was shitting myself because I'm thinking, if this guy's gonna fucking have a pot shot at me and another person that I was with, which I'm not gonna mention his name. Yeah? It was very common back then. Every night you used to hear 2-3 fucking murders at the cross. So it was worse back then than it is now. If anything, it's more tame now than before. It used to be like the fucking Wild West before. So, and then you had every fucking junkie OD. Back then, he probably knows this better than I can explain it because I don't know nothing about that shit. But I remember the Asian triads bringing this heroin that was like black heroin. And every time I was fucking ODing, fucking mass junkies fucking ODing overnight and fucking like it was known. I never seen it for myself, but it was known that the street fucking the fucking rubbish collection people would just throw the body in the fucking bin and throw it in the back because they didn't know what to do with it. They were sneaking out the place. That was the stories back then. So once again, that beats hearsay. But it was very common to fucking see bodies dropped all over the place back then. So if anything, it's de-escalated. That sort of shit is de-escalated. Now you hear people having gangland hits against each other. Yeah? But back then, every drug dealer was trying to shoot each other. Yeah? And say that there's not as many firearms here that there is in America, that's actually inaccurate, because every fucking Walker's dog is fucking printing up a 3D fucking job of some sort of pistol. I seen one that was made out of gold bullion, fucking mad looking thing, Colt Eagle, this, that, they're fucking printing them up. Yeah? Anyway.
Yeah, to me it's disappointing. You know, I like that old Sydney. It's like us versus the police. How good do you drive? What bank can you rob? How many stackers can you make? You know what I mean?
And so, Spanian, I guess when did you make that change to become who you are today?
How did I become an Australian famous personality?
As well, everywhere I went, when I said who should I interview, your name came up more.
Of course, more than anyone. I'm the personification of Australian culture, Australian street culture. I was there.
Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. And blah, blah, blah. Worst memory. What's his worst memory?
3 years later, blah, that's huge.
Spanian, can you tell me what's the worst memory of your life, please?
The worst memory, it's one of these two things. In 2008, I was in prison, of course, on the other side of the state, and my older brother, he was a heroin addict, and he overdosed and died. And I'm pretty sure he overdosed and died in his bed at home. And I'm pretty sure it was a suicide. He was a well-versed heroin addict, had been a heroin addict a long time. Heroin addicts know how to not overdose. When heroin addicts overdose, it's usually through reckless behaviour, through moods that they're in, you know what I mean? It's actually not that easy to overdose on heroin, despite what you may believe. He overdosed on heroin, and I was in prison, and they didn't let me go to his funeral. So I dealt with that. My older brother overdosing and died. The only man in my life, my dad was long gone, the only man in my life overdosed.
Oh, that fucking sting. Trying to get to a loved one's
Sydney.
Loved one's
was in Park Lane for 11 months waiting on remand.
Here's another thing that caught my eye about this one. Listen to this.
So 2005, right here, this spastic cunt got stabbed. Stabbed in the head, stabbed through the hand, whatever. Alright, for some reason or other.
He looks a bit like fucking that guy Eric Banner that played Chopperita today, doesn't he?
But our senior citizens, the fucking witnesses to the case, all said that it was me that stabbed him. I don't know why they said that, but anyway, they said that. So anyway, off to the cop shop I went. Long story short, I'm on remand in Sydney jail, right, for, this cunt was, he used to sell pills around here, right, that cunt that got stabbed. He used to sell pills around here, rituals. There was no Zannies back in it.
Rivers back then, they used to call it a date drug. Remember how I told you guys, they stopped selling, people that say that take Zannies, and they say they can't remember what they did last night. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit, because they took all the pharmaceuticals that fucked with your memory, because they were using it as date drugs. That's what they were using as date drugs, the rivers. Yeah, they were big back in the day. That's why they pulled all that shit off the shelf. That's how I know that it's impossible for Xanax to fuck with your memory. For them to put you on any medications like that, they have to put you in a psych ward and have you under observations. Yeah. So when these guys turn around and say, "Oh, I can't remember, I was on the Xannies," bullshit. You remember fucking just fine. That's almost as stupid as fucking these people that are on methadone that say, "Oh, I got the rotten tooths from methadone because there's sugar in there." There's no fucking sugar in methadone. Do you know how much sugar you're gonna have to fucking consume every day to have fucking rotten teeth like that? Yeah? And how come all these people that are got all these rotten teeth from fucking sugar in methadone, hardly none of them have got fucking diabetes? Because every fucking time I've come across somebody that has too much fucking sugar in their diet, they cop diabetes. These guys have got rotten fucking teeth from apparently too much sugar in the fucking methadone, but they ain't got that fucking diabetes. How the fuck does that work? That doesn't make no fucking sense. And for something that's packed full of fucking sugars, they keep saying that it fucking tastes like shit. I know what you think about it, but if I put fucking 7 fucking teaspoons of sugar in a fucking glass of water and I think it's gonna be sweet as a motherfucker. So how the fuck can you have something that tastes fucking foul and that much fucking sugar? That makes no fucking sense. Alright, that's what I'm just saying. A lot of these people are living in fucking mass delusions. Alright? And that's another thing. These days, this guy, the Spanian, he's talking about having his teeth fixed, he's got all this brand new grill and all that, and oh, that's great, you know, you gotta do self-care, you know, look after yourself, your spiritual health, your mental health, your physical health, fixing your teeth is a good thing. But they're saying he paid like 30, 40, 50 grand to get his teeth done. That doesn't add up to me. Or if he did, that's good. I don't know. If somebody can give me clarification, I like to get schooled. But as far as I know, a lot of people that are on the heroin, or people that have come out of jail that got their fucking teeth kicked in jail, the government fucking does the full grill on them when they get out. So you could have got it done under healthcare. We don't know. That's just like he said he paid cash for his 2 cars. I've been told that he got his ones and his ex-missus one on loan. Once again, I don't know if you can give me clarification. I'd love to hear it because you don't know what to believe about this guy, and I don't know because I'm not asking underwear with this guy. But then I hear that he dropped 300k on a new G-Wagon or something. How the fuck can you get 300k cash money to drop on a G-Wagon and have 2 loans on 2 cars? That makes no sense. Once again, if you guys can give me clarification, I'm all for it. But a lot of things he says don't make sense. Let's go back to it.
And days, I'm not talking about eckies, I'm talking about fucking dual pays, you know? So this can't just sell biggies, whatever, he got stabbed, blah blah blah. Can't say it's me, the Sydney citizens. I'm off in Sydney jail. Anyway, that's not important. I'm sitting there, alright? And total up, I was in Part B for 11 months waiting on remand for this trial, which was first class, 3 months before trial, and I get to the flooding. And you signed over your shoes. What are you talking about? The shoes that I got arrested in, they're in my cell. Because back in the days, like, the shoes you get arrested in, you put them in your property, and at certain jails, not all jails, at certain jails you can sign your shoes at your property. So I had them at my property, thrashing them around the jail. The day before, I remember I was on the oval playing touch footy, dirt oval, so my shoes are full thrash, so I left them in my cell, dirty on the windowsill, you know. And so I didn't wear them to where she was, I just wore jail issues, so at least they were clean, you know. And she goes, nah. And I said, yeah. She goes, show me.
That's another thing. As far as I know, as soon as you get put in, because I've never been to jail. I've been in mental wards before, but I ain't never been to jail. I'm a bit of a Section 32er. I always get Section 32s and they get shitty that they can't get me for nothing, so they put me in a cuckoo bird place. So I ain't never been to jail. But as far as I know, as soon as you go through the system, they take all your shit off, they process you, and they give you jail issue shit. So for him to have jail issue shit sounds reasonable to me.
A photo of shoes. She shows me a photo of light blue TNs, Nike TNs, light blue, with blood on it, with a piece of paper that I signed for DNA testing, because when they take your DNA, you got to sign over, you're given the authority to take your DNA, whatever.
Alright, so they weren't his shoes, right? He goes on the
So automatically I'm wrong. Anyway, so we're back and forth like this, and I'm thinking, no, what the
something.
What if you sign them shoes over? Like, what if you got arrested in them, the white blue Nikes, and then you got your family to bring into the cop shop white blue Asics? That's what you done. I said, how's that what I done when the photo of me getting arrested on the street is white and blue Asics, not fucking white blue Nikes? And she goes, so she doesn't want, of course she's not going to believe me, I'm just a criminal, and there, makes me she's cross detective, so automatically I'm wrong. Anyway, so we're back and forth like this, and I'm thinking, no, what the fuck? Like, my heart is going fucking beating, like, I'm thinking, what the fuck, like, what shoes, what blood? Like, I thought I was going home. She goes, look, there's a place in Surrey Hills where they keep evidence, alright? And they keep it. She goes, I'm going to go have a look at this evidence. She's going to go have a look at the shoes, and I'll come back and fucking blah, 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 alright? And I'm thinking, go look at the shoes. They're not my fucking shoes. But anyway, I'm saying, DNA test their shoes, and you'll see they're not mine. These coppers are lying. So she's not having a bar, but anyway, she disappears, and she comes back a week or two later, you know, and she comes back and says, she comes back and goes, she comes back with this new card, alright? She's me, her, and another barrister, the boss of the barristers, whatever. And they're sitting there, they're all spastics, like fucking, they're sitting there and they go like, they're acting like cool, calm and collected, you know? And I'm going, what happened? Where's the shoes? Like, what happened? She goes, can I just ask you, because you're pretty tall, she goes, what size foot are you? I said, 14 men. She goes, they looked at each other, like, scared, but they looked at each other scared, these cunts. They didn't say nothing, they go, what? What's wrong? Did you see the shoes or not? She goes, yeah, we've seen the shoes. They go, listen to this. You know, like, you know how fucking lads, they wear, like, girl shoes, faggot cunts? I've never been one of them faggot cunts, I don't even fit girl shoes. But fucking, these are girl shoes, light blue Nikes. Size 9. Size 9.
Oh, that's a fair bit of a indiscrepancy, but listen to this further on.
Give me my money, motherfuckers. So we're there, alright, trials, you pick the jury on first day of trials, alright? So you pick the jury, it's not an eventful day, but you pick a jury, and sometimes it starts later that afternoon. It starts about 10:15.
This is what
I remember my barrister. Her name is Miss Johnson. White bitch, skinny, was in her 40s, she'll be in her 50s now, legal aid, funded barrister around Sydney City, Johnson. They say if he's ever fucking see her, he's no, she's in on this shit. Listen to this. She comes down before the trial starts and she goes like this. Listen to this cunt. Think about what I just told you and listen to what's about to happen. She comes down and goes, I've got some good news for you, Anthony. My name's Anthony, her real name. She goes, I've got some good news for you, Anthony. I said, yeah, what? She goes, they want to offer you a plea, like a deal. What do you mean, deal? Deal? And she goes, yeah, well, think about it. Alright, she goes, if you plead guilty to blah, 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 they'll push for 3 years on the bottom. I've been in for a year, 2 years left. I go, what are you talking about? I'm not fucking pleading guilty. These coppers lied and said they took shoes. I don't know where they got the shoes from. I don't know. They must have just splashed these cunts' blood on a fucking pair of random shoes at the cop shop and forged my signature. It's money time. Like, these cunts, they've done doing this shit for too long. And so I said, there's no way. And she goes, alright. Yeah, I understand.
Oh, keep going.
Oh, guess what, Anthony? I said, what? I'm like, the trial's supposed to be starting now. Pick the jury. She goes, I've got some great news. Well, it's not great news. It's sort of sad in a way, but it's great for you. The exact words. I go, what happened? She goes, you know, the victim in this case. I go, yeah. This is Monday. She goes, oh, well, he committed suicide on Saturday, so they're going to have to drop the case. Wait a minute. So, you knew that he committed suicide. This gets worse. So not only did they fuck my case, fake evidence, trying to set me up coppers, then you try to get me plead guilty when the coppers are corrupt, and then on top of it, you know he's dead on Saturday, and on Monday you're trying to get me to take a deal because you know he's dead on Saturday. So that's the only way you can get me, even though you're corrupt in the first place. This is my barrister, the motherfuckers. Alright? And then she goes, oh, so you're going home. They no-billed it. No-bill means, it doesn't mean you're not guilty. It doesn't mean you're guilty. It means they just say, oh, just forget about it. Don't worry about that year on remand. Just go. And no bill, oh no, we don't need nothing. We're taking the charge back. Okay. That's no bill. That's what they've done. Put it this way. I'm fucking a teenager getting out of fucking Parkway prison. So 2006 now. And so I'm just excited to go home, alright? I want to bring these cunts down, blah, 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 but I'm just excited that I'm going home. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, I fucking, half an hour later, I'm standing on the street. No family, no nothing was there because they know I've been through that many trials. They don't come the first day of trial. It's just pick the jury, paperwork, all the official stuff. They come second day, last day of trial. They're over anyway, you know? And, so I'm walking the streets, I'm thinking, no, don't about it, like I'm out, forget about it. They tried to set me up, I wanted to bring him down, they're lucky he killed himself, whatever, who cares? Listen to this. So I'm back around the hood, alright? And then, after like a month, there's a chick down here, alright? Crackhead, like, you know, like crackhead in the street, fucking, off her guts all the time, you know? And she goes, oh, fucking Spanian lad, fucking, you know that fucking matey that you stabbed? Relax. You know that matey that you stabbed, fucking, I seen him the other day. I said, how do you see him? He's dead, the bloke's dead, the bloke died on Saturday. That's how I got out, because he killed himself. She goes, no, Brendan, that's his name. No, I seen him, he's still fucking selling movies. He said, no, relax. Alright? 2 months, I remember her saying that. 2 months later, I see the cunt.
See what he said? That's very highly unlikely. That's highly fucking unlikely. Yeah? It's highly unlikely. It's highly unlikely that happened. Please give me some clarification. But that's fucking highly unlikely that happened. Let me break it down. Break it down. Check this out. First of all, if you was that call and they let him go because this guy killed himself, they would have had to present the death certificate to the magistrate. They wouldn't be able to get the death certificate if he was still alive because the coroner would have had to give it to him. So, first of all, that doesn't make sense. Second of all, if I go murder somebody and the guy's dead, do you think because the guy's dead I'm not going to face trial for his fucking murder? Yeah? Oh, so what? The guy died. He committed suicide. That's bad, okay? No one, I don't advocate that for anyone. But how the fuck is if somebody commits suicide going to alleviate me from facing a trial for a crime that I committed against the guy that committed suicide? I never heard that before. How the fuck is that possible? If that's the case, every time that fucking died in a murder, you shouldn't be getting trial for it because he's not allowed to give testimony. Does that make sense? How the fuck do they bring up a case from fucking 1980, somebody got killed, or a crime happened to somebody in 1980 and he died after that, and I'm still around and I got charged for it? Yeah? But the guy's already dead. Just because somebody dies doesn't stop you facing trial for a crime that you committed against that person. What he's saying just does not make sense. Doesn't make sense. That's what I'm saying. Alright? Now since we're talking about since we got him on. This is the cross.
It's about 20 plus.
This is the cross today. Check this out. This is the cross in this day and age. Alright? Look
That
at
won't get mine anyway, let's get on with it.
that's the cross, walking through the cross in this day and age. Yeah?
Straight off the bat, I know we're only entering that, but everything that was over there is like off, closed. It's still like King and Coffees. All of those good places over there have closed, so.
That's walking through the cross today.
I can see down there.
That's peak time now.
It don't really look busier.
Right?
We'll just see.
Now let's look at the cross back in the day. Let's look at the cross back in the day. Footage of the cross back in the day. Alright. This is alright. This is footage of what it was.
Violence and bloody.
This is
Leading on a stretcher.
footage of the night
At
back in
Sydney's
the day.
Trademark Hotel early this morning.
I saw something in glass, a whole building, and they were like trying to attack somebody.
The King's Cross night spot was immediately evacuated.
See? Packed everywhere.
But as officers interviewed those involved, the fighting.
Sammy, people everywhere. People everywhere. Fucking people
More than
everywhere.
15 heavily armed police blocked the
That's what it used to be like back in the day. Back when I was living there. People everywhere. You
Not a
couldn't
violence of
hardly walk. You could hardly walk. Yeah? And that's for fucking this business about all these fucking jailhouse stories that everyone's putting on, and they're fucking glamorizing being in jail and that. Let me break it down. But this guy's a bit like the Spanian over there in the States. What's his name?
What do you do for a living? I'm Wes Watson.
He's Wes Watson.
Who? What's your name? Wes Watson.
The top comment, which was like,
Alright. Talking about jailhouse stories and see
square feet, 3 floors,
$2.3
best
million
furnishings,
flat,
this
but really he's renting. See, it's really her house. Is a rental. See, it's the same sort of stories.
what the fuck? What, shower?
Yeah, it's like jailhouse stories and so forth. Yeah, talk about this, that, and then this guy he's exposing me.
Like, before I even ever watched any of the prison genre channels, right? Never part of no gangs or organizations. They were just, the inmates just sat there and did whatever they needed to do. And then when I started hearing the level 4 stuff, I got at somebody I know who knows how to get at somebody to get the records pulled. And so they pulled it. He never was no level 4. The officer that gave this to the person I know said that he never did no shoot time.
So he actually called from Arizona.
You see what I'm saying? That's what you got these days. You got people talking about fucking how wonderful it was in there and over exaggerating things and coming up with stories and this is a bit of a history of jail design. I'll post it so I don't see you talking about it, alright? Inside prison kitchens,
lawsuits and contract terminations due to
yeah,
alleged.
I'll post that too. Inside Aussie jail.
Today getting through everything, and are you going to cook?
How fucking shit it is. This is a reality. This is a reality.
Alright, just a sec.
Fucking wonderful. Cement, bars, perspex. As far as I can see, metal, perspex, barbed wire. They just see how wonderful it is. Oh yeah, that'll really make sure. Wonderful,
social system, and they stay here for.
So obviously that's going to build character being there. Oh yeah, for sure. I'll post those so you guys can see the relevance. I don't know why people are glamorising that lifestyle. Inside Supermax, I'll post this.
Jail, as Ben Fordham gets unprecedented access to the home of our most dangerous criminals.
Metal, bars, barbed wire, cement, more cement, more metal. Wonderful living arrangement to be there. So nice. Fucking real thing.
Can I get on to the stand up here?
This is my welcome to Supermax.
This really is.
Wonderful environment for everyone.
Opened in the same month.
Yeah, I'll post that shit so you guys can see it. Suicide.
Like it was too.
People committing suicide left, right, and centre because of the depression from being in there. Yeah, I'll post all this stuff.
Holding yourself, look close.
Actual facts. You know? Facts. Not fucking people coming out of there with all these stories. I want to post you facts. Yeah? Facts. Yeah? Not all these fucking bullshit stories that people come up with. Facts. Now, this is funny. You gotta listen to this one.
If there's one country that you wouldn't pay me not even $1 million, $1 million to visit, let alone move to, it's Australia. Like, I would not be bothered to move to Australia for anything.
Here we go. Alright. Sounds like someone got denied entry into Australia. Couldn't get a visa. Now they've got to be in their block. Alright, this is going to be interesting. Let's see what reason she's got why she would never come to Australia. Bring it on. Oh, I will be responding. Trust me.
This is most hilarious.
Because first of all, Australia is so far. Like, Australia is so far from anything and anybody, you know?
Now, just let me clarify. You're from South Africa, right? South Africa, right down the bottom of Africa. The tiny little spot at the very bottom of a whole continent, way down the bottom in the middle of nowhere. Okay, Chief, just for clarification. Thanks.
Like, just to travel to Australia, you have to take days just to get to Australia from anywhere.
A couple of days to get to Australia from anywhere? What are you doing? Swimming here?
Like, so isolated. I remember early last year, my husband and I were in Singapore. In fact, we were on a holiday in Bali.
Bali? Okay, our closest neighbour. Australia's backyard. Do you know it's only a 45-minute plane flight from Bali down to Australia, down to Darwin? 45 minutes. That's it.
And we're going to leave from Bali and go to Madagascar to finish off our it was like a pre-honeymoon holiday, like a family holiday.
Pre-honeymoon
holiday. There was a cyclone.
The honeymoon's for the honeymoon.
And then we thought, okay, let's go to Singapore and go.
Now you've heard of plane dropping?
Yeah.
This is more like city dropping. Look at all the places I've been. No one cares.
While we were in Singapore, we met people who convinced us to go to Australia, and both of us looked at each other and we were just like, nah. Like, nah.
Did you hear that? That was a collective sigh of relief from all of Australians going, thank God she didn't come.
And we have zero interest to go there. It is so effing isolated, first of all.
You were just in Bali, 45-minute flight from Australia, and then you're in Singapore, which is literally a 2.5-hour flight from Darwin. And you're saying it's so effing isolated? Do you realise it's a 16-hour flight from Singapore just for you to get back to fucking Africa?
Can you imagine like the mentality of people who live there? Like, people live in isolation, guys, don't take this for granted. The mentality of people who live in isolation also is,
which is pretty fucking stupid to say when she's got Tibetan prayer beads on her left arm. Should be on your right, but she's got it on her left. Tibetan prayer beads, and they're all about solitude and isolation for growth. So something that's good for growth is silence and isolation. Like, and she's saying, just imagine the mentality of people that live in Australia because they're so isolated. What the fuck, man?
Imagine the mentality of assuming the mentality of someone just by where they live. Wow, that's pretty naive. And you've got to also consider that Australia, we have one of the highest education standards in the world. We're in the top 10 of the highest living standards in the
long to get there from London.
I'm from South Africa.
I actually have a phobia of snakes.
She has a
Club. I don't know if you realise this, but South Africa has snakes.
She's literally living in South Africa, like near the Congo, this, that, everything, full fucking jungle everywhere, with snakes, this, that, pythons, things like this. And she go, oh, there's snakes in Australia. No shit, Sherlock. We've got a Sherlock Holmes up to that.
In Australia, you can just nje uthi use-toilet inotholi uvula itoilet uhlangane.
Oh yeah, I seen a rattlesnake in my toilet last night. What the fuck, man?
Snake ejonge like this.
You like this?
Like
What did she just say? Snakes come
Some
out
of
of
the
the toilet.
delusional shit people post, but it's fucking hilarious. I've got another thing to do, like about the Anzacs, but that's another thing. That's another thing. That's another thing. That's another thing. Oh, that's pretty much it. Oh, while we're on it, let's
I am 23.
let's brush on this fucking.
Yo, what's up?
Remember how I bring up chicks always saying shit like creep this, creep that, my like yes.
Welcome back to Tulsa Central. I'm your host, Jack, and today we're taking a look at modern women losing it. Well, let's jump right in, right after you subscribe, of course. This video was made for strictly comedic/artistic purposes. No offense is intended for any individual featured in this video.
So, hi. I actually know like a funnier way to do it for you. I'm just saying.
Now, if a guy would have done that, he would have been put on the biggest fucking group.
Yeah.
For you, ma'am, let some people here have.
See, now that.
Get up, Grinder.
This is it.
Ruin people's lives.
This is it.
G'day, ladies and gentlemen.
Isaac Butterfield. I like this guy. I don't agree with everything he says, but he's pretty spot on. Man.
Today's video, we're going to call out someone who is going out of her way to try and ruin people's lives. And I think it's absolutely outrageous, particularly because you're all guilty of doing it. Yeah, I'm talking about you, you big creep. Her name
I'm not a creep. I'm a fucking degenerate pervert, mate. I love pervert.
Is Chloe Reels, and she posts videos of certain men being filmed without them knowing, doing something that
she's pervert on her ass now.
I would argue, and I will argue throughout this video, isn't
She does have a nice ass.
bad. But first, let's have a look at her Instagram. This is Chloe Reels, 19 years old. Straight. Anyway, here she is. This is the only photo I could find of her without actually having to sign up to her special website for $4.50 for 31 days. So yeah,
That's what I'm saying. She's putting people on the creep for having a quick look at her for like 3 or 5 seconds, but you can see her ass getting fucking clapped for fucking $4.99 for a month, solid. Yeah, but she's worried about you having a 5-second gander at her. Well,
basically, she's your new favourite Latina and message her free treat to get a free surprise. But what has she done that's given everyone a little bit shitty and asking the question, come on, babe, what are you doing that for? Well, she does this. She puts a camera in her back pocket and wears tight pants and films the men who check her out. And just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into this, I want you to understand her attitude towards this. Before I show you what she's done, this is a screenshot from one of her viral clips that says, if you ever need to be reminded how gross some men are, start recording and put your phone in your back pocket.
So we're gross because we take a 5-second gander at somebody. How the fuck does that work? But you're not gross by fucking getting all these OnlyFans subscriptions to watch you getting pumped on camera. Or spreading your fucking lamb chops apart. How does that make sense? Anyway, I'll post this shit. How does that make sense? In what world of fucking, what world does that make fucking sense? Fuck, stupid shit, man. So, basically what I'm telling you is, all these people that are coming up with the prison stories, and then they run out of prison stories, so they don't have content, so then they fabricate stories, yeah? And all the rest of it. Most of the time, they're full of shit. Let's be honest. Like, they're like a taxi driver that's been driving around for a long time. A lot of people come in the taxi, got them out of the taxi, and they've heard the stories, and they're repeating the stories. Yeah? That some of the stories are correct, and then from that point on, they've run out of material. Let's be honest. If you do a 10-year stretch, yeah, you got in there, say in 2000, you come out 2010, the street, the neighborhood you went in, when you went in the neighborhood that you were living in, had 1 or 2 sets of lights. You come out now, it's got 20 sets of lights. Yeah? Society has changed while you were sitting fucking stagnant in a cell. Maybe there's a stabbing happening here and there. Maybe there's a stand-up happening here and there. There's all these jailhouses politics. But seriously, all you have to do is move the net to get from here to there, and it's a full-blown fucking discussion about it. About the grandma, about relocating your napkin. Yeah? Or you courtesy flush 2 times, not 3 times. There's a full board meeting about it in justice. Why? There's nothing else to do. Yeah? So you come out, you don't know how society's changed, you haven't adapted, you don't know this, that. So what the fuck do you know? How? So in other words, if you're 40 years old, you were incarcerated at 20 years, yeah? You've stood on the bench for 20 fucking years, talking about gangster, talking about jailhouse politics, yeah? That has no fucking relevance in the real world. So in other words, somebody that's 25 is going to be more advanced than you. Why? Because you spent an extra 5 years as a society while you've just been sitting there, doing nothing, playing cards, having showers, and eating slop. Let's be honest about it. How much can you do if you're sitting in a fucking cell like a bird in a cage for fucking 20 years? Like how much can you do in a cage other than eat your food, shit, and drink water? Yeah? While the rest of the society's doing things, you're in this cage. There's not a lot you can do in a fucking cage. Or stare in a mirror, or swing off a fucking swing, and then what? Yeah? It's the same fucking routine, day in, day out. So how many stories can somebody have if they've done 15 or 20 fucking years in a jail cell? Yeah? So when they come out, they say a few of the stories that happened in there, and then they run out of stories. So whatever they hear, they just fabricate it to suit them. They use the same punchline, and they fabricate it to suit them. Simple. So when people talk about things and tell you how wonderful it was in there, believe me, they're blow-assing. It's not wonderful in there. It's fucking shit. The place isn't designed for it to be good. It's designed to break you down. The meals have been fucking processed that many times. It's just enough nutrients to keep you alive. That's when they taste. The best taste you're getting is 2 minute fucking noodles. Chicken or beef. That's the best tasting thing you're going to get. That's what alaka. So when people come out talking about how fucking wonderful it was and asking about different levels and this, that, who gives a fuck? All that shit means nothing in society. Yeah? Who gives a fuck if you're security 1, security 7, security 50? Who gives a fuck? What's that gonna do for you in society? Nothing. So people, stop getting carried away with these fucking jailhouse stories, because they ain't gonna do fuck all for you. Look in philosophy, study religion, study this, study that. Don't listen to these stories. They're not gonna get you nowhere.